everybody, welcome back to another Random Sam Epic Mom, and it is time for another book review. Now, once again, I'm going to be reviewing Nora Roberts. Her new book, Identity, just came out recently, so it's kind of cool getting to read a new book. I anticipate these ones, and I just gotta first say that we live in a crazy world. And I love reading her books. It's really neat because I was born in the 80s. Some of her books, mostly written in like the 90s and up to now. And I love to feel the flow. I mean, in her books, you can even feel what the time was like during that time, like the values, what was common. And because she puts a lot of suspense into her books, you also get to see kind of what people are dealing with. And with Identity, it deals with this psychopath who meets women, he studies them, he meets them, and he picks women who have kind of androgynous names that could be both male or female. And he finds this woman, Morgan, and he studies her, and what he usually does is he steals their identities, steals all their money, puts equity loans. He takes them for a ton of money, and then he kills them. So, real psychopath. And I thought it was interesting because, in today's society, we all talk about, oh, we got computers for this, we got computers for that. But computers also make it really easy for things like identity theft to happen. And we think of it as somebody, using a check that was in our name or, little things like that. But we don't really take the time, unless it's affected us or somebody we know, to realize how much something as simple as somebody racking up a credit card bill can really change our life and how extreme it can be. So anyways, Morgan ends up, her friend dies because she caught the guy in their house while he was trying to steal the information, and he didn't get a chance to kill Morgan. So he's kind of become obsessed with her. She's the one that ruined his luck and everything. And because of all the things that he did and continued to do to try and screw up her life, she's lost the home she had bought, she's lost her best friend, she no longer finds joy in her jobs because she was working 2 jobs. She's just going through the motions, and finally she had to sell her house, and she moves back to live with her mom and grandma. And, taking that step for a lot of us, if you have to move back in with family, you feel like a failure, and how she dealt with feeling that and moving forward. And in the book, she's going to meet this really great guy who's part of the family who owns the resort that she's gone to work for because she's a bartender, and ends up being a manager. And it's just so funny to see, these kind of workaholics and, this great family that runs this resort, embracing her, but her still dealing with the trauma of this guy who's still trying to, screw up her life from afar. And it's just an amazing story. I really gotta say, again, the identity theft, my husband and I dealt with that years ago. Probably like 7-8 years ago, somebody had found an old checkbook of ours and tried writing a bunch of bad checks. And it was a very big pain in the butt to get through that, to deal with the police, to, report that, to try and not have to pay those charges because we weren't responsible for it. And it screwed up our credit a little bit. But there are so many people out there who deal with this. And it's just so amazing how it can continuously affect you and just really screw things up for you. So for Morgan to move back home feeling like a failure and then start rebuilding her life, all of those plans that she made have just kind of gone kaput. And because of all that's happened to her, she's got to really take the time to, figure out, is she still the same person as before? Does she still want the same things? And it's just so amazing that, the friendship she's going to build, the work tension she's going to have for coming in to get the manager's job. It's just going to be so many things that we deal with, because you guys, we're not one-dimensional people. We're not, even just two-dimensional on paper. we're so complex. So it's just so great that Nora Roberts is able to write these characters and really see not just the growth, but how people manage with the hard knocks life throws at us, because there's so many good people out there, and that's one of the things I love so much about this book, is that even though something horrible has happened, even though it is devastating and the trauma just keeps coming and coming, and there's just so many hard knocks, and you see that there are truly evil people out there in the world, and if not evil, then at least not really good people. But to see that even as you move forward with your life, there are so many good people around you. It's the little things, and it's the people in your everyday lives that make such a difference. And I really, I think that's kind of a theme with almost the majority of Nora Roberts' books, is that no matter what situation you are, there are bad people out there. There are, crappy situations that have just been put there, but there are so many good people in the world. And I like to believe that everyday people, whether we get along or not, whether we have the same things in common, there are just so many people who the small things are going to show us that kindness, are going to show us that there's so much good in the world. And I love that Nora Roberts is not only using topics that are very common for the world that we live in, it's very relevant, but she also shows us how you don't have to be just like everybody else to be friends with them, and you don't have to have the perfect life, and you can, after tragedy, build a new life. You can move forward. And I just gotta say, her stories, the characters are complex, the characters are relatable to people that you know in your everyday lives, and I just gotta say, it is a wonderful story. It is unbelievable. It took me, I went to bed thinking I'm going to read just a little bit just to get a feel for the story, and I ended up staying up all night reading this. I barely got to bed way in the early morning hours, and it is a gripping story, guys. 24 hours I read this awesome, huge book, and it's worth a read, guys. So if you guys get a chance, please go out there, whether it's at the local library or it's here on your e-readers and such, or getting it from your local bookstore or ordering it online. This is a really great book to read, and once you read it, please check out Nora Roberts' other novels or her trilogies or whatever. They're great. They are amazing. These are books that have spanned an entire generation, that she's been writing as long as I've been alive. And that, to me, is just amazing, that she is such an amazing author, that she keeps putting out books that just speak to people. And I've just got to say, I started getting into reading as an adult with her books, and I'm continuing just to find so much enjoyment in her novels. So guys, again, if you get a chance, go try out Nora Roberts. And again, at the end of her books, there's usually, a recommendation or something, or at least in the paperbacks. But again, great book, wonderful story, and the characters are just so amazing. And there are some books out there where it's pretty much you only focus on the main heroine and hero, and everybody else is just kind of a footnote. But in her stories, the side characters have such in-depth personalities that you see how they interact with everybody, and how, you need a community to really grow as a person. So please, if you guys get a chance, give Nora Roberts a shot, and I hope you guys will tune in for another book review. If you guys have any suggestions of other books, please leave them in the comment section. And you guys, again, a book is never a wrong thing to have. It's a great accessory to have, and it's always a great time to read. So hopefully you guys go out, find a good book to read, and have a great one. Talk to you soon. Bye. Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed that. Please check out our other videos already on YouTube, and give us a like and subscribe. And if you hit that bell for notifications, You'll know when we put something new out. So try to make every day matter by finding the fun. You guys have a great one. Bye.